Hey guys, Zama here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, liked, commented. I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please do yourself a kind favor and subscribe down below. So it's been a while actually. It's been a couple too many weeks since I recorded anything. And the honest truth is that I haven't been okay. I have been going through the most. I've just been mentally and emotionally and to a certain extent physically drained. I've just been dealing with a lot of personal things at the moment, and if I'm being honest with myself, one of my most toxic traits is that I have a tendency of pulling back and trying to deal with whatever I'm going through on my own. And then when I think that I've dealt with it, then I'll come back and be like, hey guys, I don't realize, or I haven't realized, the power of reaching out and speaking out about what I'm going through. I mean, there may be someone who's in a similar situation that I'm in, and really sometimes speaking to even just a stranger does a world of wonders. And it's one of the things that I'm actively trying to work on and to work through. But yeah, that's just a bit of where I've been. And I really hope that everyone is taking care of themselves and taking care of their loved ones and being very careful during this pandemic. We really now are at that stage where we are losing loved ones, we're losing friends, and it's really painful knowing that in some instances you may never ever be able to get any form of closure. You find yourself not even being able to attend funerals because of the situation and indlela engakhona. So I really hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. Don't be selfish. And yeah, I hope that you guys haven't missed me too much. I am back. I hope this will be a short video. I'm gonna try not make it too long, but there were just a couple of things that I wanted to share. So yeah, how has everybody been, career-wise, school-wise? Are you guys hanging in there, still advocating for the good fight? I think with the whole situation, our new normal, I mean, it's been a bit bizarre, a bit crazy for a lot of us. I mean, for me, for instance, I started a new job under lockdown conditions, and it was different. It was weird. I mean, now having to onboard, having to learn a whole new environment, a whole different systems, trying to make relations with colleagues. It was quite different and it was quite difficult at first, but one thing I'll say is that I'm so grateful for my employer. They have been so supportive and so there and so present, and always just willing to go the extra mile to make sure that trying to transition into a new working environment given the conditions has been quite seamless. And it actually got me thinking, Uguti, and please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. Uguti, how many of you guys are actually happy and satisfied with the way that your employers have been treating their staff during this pandemic? I always say that the way umuntu ekuphatha ngakhona during your worst time is a true reflection of how they actually feel and value you empilweni yabo. Okay, not that organization in empilo, but I hope you guys get the gist of what I'm trying to say. You guys actually share the same sentiments as me. Have you found your employers to be quite understanding and supportive during this time? And another thing is, as an employee, have you found yourself to be quite the leader? Have you been innovative? Have you been speaking out and suggesting new ways to do things given the circumstances? have you not just fallen into the wave of it's a pandemic, things are different, I'm not used to doing things this way, but have you taken it in your stride to come up with new strategies, to come up with new and innovative ways that your organization can work better and do better, and how you guys can actually sustain the good things that have been coming out of this pandemic? If you are an opportunist, now is really your time to stand out and to make yourself known. I mean, step forward, step up, and say, hey, this is what I suggest, and this is why I think it's best for the organization to start doing X, Y, and Z, and really just creating value and having a positive contribution to your organization is just some of the takeaways that we can start looking at during this pandemic, instead of constantly sitting in our corners and saying, but really, is this thing is just getting to me. Rather just start thinking of ways to do things better. A while back I had a Q&A on my Instagram where I just asked if there was anyone who had career related questions that I could answer during my video. And one of the questions, which is really just going to be the center of this video, was a question on how do you know which path to take. And just to give a bit of context, this question came from a recently qualified chartered accountant who had gone through articles, gone through the works, and was now at a point where they were like, okay, sharp, what next? What do I do? The groundwork of qualifying as a chartered accountant is very much laid down. I mean, you go through your varsity, you pass, you fail, you give up, you pull yourself back and you keep going. You get into articles, you start your articles, you write your board exams, you fight for your competencies, your ANAs on stage 2, then it's on stage 5, then it's back to stage 2, then stage 6. So you go through all those motions, trying to qualify as a chartered accountant, and then, finally you get that beautiful email from SAICA saying, hey, welcome, you are now officially a member of the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. You post, you're happy, you celebrate, it's a big party. But then you ask yourself, what now? What then? Okay, I've qualified, but what does this mean for me? Does this mean that my career is just going to automatically take off and I'm going to be sitting in my corner office calling the shots? Does it mean that I automatically know what to do with myself now, what to do with my career, what to do with my life? And I think I'm going to try and dissect this as much as I can, and I'm going to draw a lot on my experiences and a lot of what was going through my head when I was going through that journey of trying to ask myself, okay, where to from here? So after articles, there's a very select group of individuals who say, I know what I want and I want to one day become an audit partner. And those individuals will stay on an audit as audit managers because they know what they want. It's set in stone. They want to go through the works, eventually heading up, making partnership at an audit firm. And then there is another group of individuals who say, I don't know what I want to do, but it's definitely not audit. I don't care where I go. I don't care what job I get, as long as it's not audit. And in that group of people, they get signed off straight out the door. They do not look back. And there's another group of people who say, I don't have a problem with audit. I like audit, but I wouldn't want to do it in South Africa. And then we have an outflux of a lot of qualified CAs who go overseas and join the international firms and start working overseas, doing audit overseas. And then there is another basket of individuals, people like us who feel like they haven't gotten the holistic feel and the holistic experience of qualifying as a chartered accountant. They don't feel like they are it as yet, and then they sort of decide, okay, you know what, let me stay on after articles and give myself a certain period of time where I'm really just going to try and learn a different skill set. So now they're trying to learn a managerial skill set. And it's not guaranteed that even though you've decided to stay on after articles as a manager, you're learning how to be a manager, you're automatically gonna know what you want to do with yourself. It does not necessarily mean that you're gonna have it all figured out in this space of time that you've given yourself to find your feet. And that's okay. I mean, that's perfectly normal, and it's not a cause for concern when you think, okay, now I've qualified, but I'm still actually not sure what I want to do with it. It was the same thing with me. I mean, when I finished my articles, I stayed on as an audit manager, and I had this desire to get into financial services because I didn't get as much exposure at the Durban office. So then I applied to move to Johannesburg, moved to the Waterfall office, and I was in the financial services sector. And I thought, okay, yeah, no, maybe this is what I want to do. This is what I want to get into. I want to get into, insurance, and I was doing insurance clients, and I thought, you know what, I'm finding my passion. I'm finding my path. I'm finding my purpose. I'm going to be an insurance specialist. And and I was going through it, and then halfway I realized that no, actually this is not what I want. I'm actually not enjoying what I'm doing, and it's really just not working out for me. I wasn't enjoying being an audit manager. I was miserable, actually. I'm grateful though for the people I worked with and the experiences that I got and the lessons that I learned. I mean, I learned totally different skill set. I grew a lot, but then in true essence of whether I was enjoying and I felt like I was living my purpose, no, I wasn't. And so I decided, okay, no, angiko happy, angiko righty. I made the decision to resign. And then I did a life audit, and I took a step back and I said, Zama, be honest with yourself. What you're doing, Jablis, it's not bringing you any sense of fulfillment, and you're still quite young, so don't feel as if you are trapped in what you're doing. There is plenty of time and plenty of opportunity for you to move out, make mistakes, and learn from mistakes. If Goguti, I'm making a mistake by taking the decision to resign. And at that point, I thought I knew what it is as well that I wanted to get into. So gang, I resigned, and I was hyping myself. I was amping myself, and I was like, baby girl, you are qualified. You have got a great CV. I mean, fantastic CV. And I'm well spoken, I'm confident. So I honestly thought that, looking for a job, given my experience and given my qualification, would have been quite an easy thing. But wow, the competition out there is insane. You can't just be a CA. You can't just go on the fact that no, Mina, I'm qualified. I did my articles at the big 4 audit firms. I'm this, I'm that. So what? Organizations are looking at what you can bring to the table. They don't care about your CV really. I mean, your CV really just gets you gets your name on the interview schedule. But what's important is what it is that you bring to the table, what makes you stand out from the rest, and what you can bring to the organization that no one else can. Looking at things like, is this person driven? Does this person have a purpose outside of just wanting to be a great employee? They are looking at, is this person a game changer? Is this person an above and beyond individual? What is this person doing outside of their corporate lives? I mean, what initiatives are you involved in? What societies are you involved in? What forums do you head? I mean, those are the kind of things, and those are the kind of individuals that they want in their organization. They want people who are leaders, people who create opportunity, people who stand out from the rest. And and one thing that I picked up that from a lot of the interviews that I went to is that interviews have really changed. It's no longer just we have questions, you answer. It's a conversation. I mean, interviews now really go on what you say. I mean, you'll mention something like, I had the opportunity to go overseas and travel the world, and then they will ask you like, so what did you take from that? What did you learn about the culture and the way things are done in a different land, and how can you take that and bring that to that organization? I mean, it's things like that that they look for. They want to see your thinking capability. They want to see you, Guti. If this person was thrown in the hot waters right now, would they boil? Okay, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. But like, I hope you guys just get the gist of what I'm trying to say, is that as a student, get yourself out there, be involved in a lot of things. I mean, LinkedIn is a great platform for you to start connecting with your future employers. It's a great platform for you to create your own organizations, your own forums. Find something that you're passionate about, find something that you stand for, and be an advocate for it, and really make sure that you use your social media platforms to your advantage. That's really one of the things. I mean, one of the interviews that I went to, the director was like, I actually browsing through your CV, I saw that you had a website. That was the only thing that I really looked into your CV, and I read a bit about you. I looked through some of your social media platforms, and I see the kind of image that you portray and what you really put out there. And I was like, oh wow, really? And he's like, yeah, that's really what we look for in an individual. We want to see that, is Zama as an individual a perfect fit for our organization? And in the same breath, it was also important for me to make that assessment. Uguti, would this organization be? It was one organization in particular that I really wanted to work for. Well, in retrospect, I thought that I really wanted to work for this organization. So I applied the first time, and they responded, we regret to inform you. And I was like, okay, why? Sent through an email just to find out like, why was my application denied. They didn't respond to me, and then they had another post which they advertised, and then I applied again, and then they rejected me again. And so 7 applications later and 7 rejections later, I was like, okay, sharp, let me apply at one of their competitors, because I mean, I really want to get into this industry, and they were my first choice of the company that I would want to work for. And so I applied to one of their competitors per se, and I got an interview, went through the entire interview process, the works, everything was just seamless. And you were like, okay, great, we're done with the entire interview process and psychometrics and the whole works. And they were like, okay, we'll get back to you within 2 weeks. And I was like, great. And 2 weeks went by, they didn't respond to me, and I was like, okay, why am I being ghosted? I sent through an email just trying to find out, do you guys have any feedback for me? When can I expect feedback? Because I've got other offers as well. It's very important to sometimes put it out there so that organizations don't take you for a ride. They don't just throw things in your face and then try and lock you in, whereas there's other opportunities calling your name that you decide to decline because you want to go with them. But anyway, they never got back to me, and then I was like, okay, whatever. And then I got a call from one of the other competitors. I don't want to call them competitors because I mean, they're all just big organizations. And I got a call from them, and they were like, hey, we heard that you're on the market. We're heading up a new division, and we'd really love for you to be a part of it. I mean, we've had a look at your CV, and you seem to be a perfect fit for our organization. Please come through for an interview. And about two days later, I went through their offices, had such a great interview. I really enjoyed that interview, and they were like, okay, we'll be in contact with you. Later that day, I get a call, your interview was a great interview, but one of our head directors wants to meet with you as well. are you available tomorrow morning? We know it's short notice, but we really want you on board. And I was like, okay, great. Things are starting to look up. Next morning I go in for the interview is amazing. It was just a beautiful interview. I had such great interviews at that organization. And then about 2 days later, I get a call from the HR department, and they say, oh wow, congratulations, we'd like to make you an offer. We're going to send you a contract. Please read through the contract. If there's anything that you want to negotiate, anything that you want to discuss, please let us know. It is a new role for a new department, so it's really just going to be a conversation, and we'll work from there. And I was really excited, and now I'm thinking about this victory story about how I was rejected 7 times by that other company, and then this one decided to ghost me, and now I get a call, now I'm being headhunted by this organization. And I was really excited, and then I was like, okay, no, things are really looking up. It's true when they say you gotta fall, then you gotta you bring yourself times better. And I was really excited. And so the evening I'm reading through my contract, I'm really excited, I'm happy about it. And then the next morning I get an email from the organization, and they were like, hi Zama, this is not something you probably want to wake up to, but in light of the COVID-19 and with the lockdown looming, we've decided to freeze all our posts. And I was like, okay, it's fine, I understand. But I was like, why is this happening to me? Why does it seem as if this thing that I think I want to get into just keeps shutting in my face? And then I realized, Uguti, God knows your heart, and He always has plans for you, plans to prosper you. And sometimes we go on what we think is right for us, we go on what we think is best for us, but uNkulunkulu always has a plan ngempilo yakho, and we tend to rush izinto, we tend to jaha izinto. I mean, in retrospect, and I'm sitting and I'm thinking to myself, the only reason why I wanted to get into that organization or into that sector really badly was because of money. I wasn't really pushing a passion, I wasn't pushing purpose. I was just going after money because I want a good lifestyle, and I wasn't getting into something that I really wanted to do. And God knows your heart, and sometimes he will lead you on a journey where you think ukuthi no, ngizanayo, only for the doors to be shut. That is not for you. And we honestly do allow pressure and where we think we should be in life, and what we should have and what we shouldn't have to drive us. But engagosho is that it's important for you to be patient with yourself. It's important for you to fully understand, and Uguti, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna have it figured out the moment you get your qualification, the moment you go through your articles, the moment you qualify as a CA. It's not just gonna be some revelation. Yes, some people know exactly what they want from the get-go. But if you're like me and you're still really just trying to find your feet, and really just trying to discover yourself, be patient with yourself, give yourself iskati. Give yourself time to make mistakes. Give yourself time to, I don't know if you guys can hear, but my neighbors are so loud. Give yourself time to make mistakes, to fall, to pick yourself up, to make wrong decisions, to learn from them, because it's a journey. I mean, I don't believe in this thing of you should be stuck in a job for 10-15 years because you are about loyalty and you're about commitment. No, if something doesn't suit you anymore, something doesn't sit right with you anymore, move on. Yay, it's Women's Month. Happy Women's Month to all the beautiful and amazing ladies that are watching this video. I just want to remind all you powerhouses, you mbagotos, that power is not going to be given to us as women. We need to own it. and we need to constantly be empowering ourselves. Let's keep challenging ourselves, not to be or to do better than men, but to prove to ourselves that we can and we will achieve anything and everything that we set our sights on. We are gonna go after everything that sets our souls on fire, and nothing is going to stand in our way. And I don't know where I mentioned this, but it's our season. It's our time to shoot our shot. Just go for it, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? You know, you won't know unless you try. So do it, baby girl. Go. Remember, education gives you the privilege to direct your purpose. So keep investing in yourself. Never get tired of feeding into yourself. Invest your time in seeking knowledge and taking in knowledge. Invest your time in asking. Invest your time in being out there and really just taking in as much as you can that will help you to build yourself and to shape yourself into the kind of woman that you want to be. One last thing, as women, we are naturally just caregivers and receivers, and a lot of us have a strong desire to one day create homes and, you know, build families. Or is it build homes and create families? But yeah. And I therefore encourage you to pray for and find a partner who is just as ambitious as you are. Be with someone who won't feel threatened by your undying passion and your ambition and your hunger for success. I mean, when you are with someone who understands that, your journey does become a lot more bearable and a lot more easier. And you know, it's just amazing. It really just is beautiful being in a partnership with someone who is your supporter and who's just your go-to number one fan. Not to say that you need a man to, you know, to make it, but it's just a side note. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you engaging with me, and please follow me on Instagram. Get my handle down below. I will try as much as I can to be interactive and post a lot more videos. But I mentioned that I want to keep it authentic. I don't want to just post just for the sake of it. I want to share when I have something that's heavy in my heart. And yes, if you were new here, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do yourself a favor and subscribe. And please take care of yourself, guys. Ninakekele nabantu that are close to you, guys. Please don't be selfish. Going to that party, it's not worth it right now. Yeah, lots of love and do take care.